Hello everyone and welcome to a new Horizon 4 Festival playlist completion episode. Spring 29 has arrived with the chance to win the last new car of this series, the Mercedes AMG Hammer, from the Tree Hugger Championship, besides the other cool rewards. If you need help, feel free to check the video description for the exact time slots and cars of each event completion, as well as tunes used, which can be found by my gamer tag, or use the comment section below, as well as the Discord server. And if you'd like and haven't already, drop a like for the video and consider subscribing for more Forza and other racing games content. Now, without further ado, let's jump to the first 3% from the photo challenge, Strange Things, besides the 21 starting point thanks to rivals and ranked since summer. This week is easy, pick a cult car and take a picture of it without area restrictions. Next, for 15%, a quick Forzathon, the apple of my eye that we already know how to complete since yesterday. First chapter, get a retro supercar. There are many you can choose from, so at least for 3 out of the 4 challenges you can use basically any of them. Second chapter requires us to win 3 road racing events. Those can be circuit or sprint, blueprint or standard, and any difficulty can be used as long as you win while driving the retro supercar. Then welcome to another speed trap challenge, chapter 3, all wool and a yard wide, for which I have prepared 6 cars that can easily nail it by using this 1.5 km straight, starting with the cheapest, the Esprit V8.
You have arrived at your destination.
Followed by the classic icon, the McLaren F1,
You have arrived at your destination.
the Carrera GT,
You have arrived at your destination.
Saleen S7,
At your destination.
as well as a little Ford GT and the 575 Maranello, tunes in the video description. As for chapter 4, thing of a beauty, drive anywhere, anytime, any of your retro supercars for 15 miles to get this week's 200 Forzathon points. Regarding the Forzathon Shop, the cars are not worth your points this week if you ask me, but I do like the suit and helmet, which are not even that expensive, probably around 75 and 150 each. Going back to the Horizon Festival, for the Backstage, the X-Class won the past week community vote. As for this week, we have what else but yet another Mustang and a Corsa. I think we all know for which of the two the vote of most will go to. For the trial, dry aged, you'll need a B700 vintage racer's car. To be honest, this is by far the car class I hate the most, just too slow and all over the place in the required performance range. I went with the Mercedes, which wasn't a bad pick, but guess that the servers had other plans for us this week again. And not only once. But eventually we got the win, the car and the 6%. If you don't have a vintage race available, make sure to check the auction house for one, as they are too expensive in the auto show. And in case you need help with it, you can leave me a message and I'll try to help if I can as soon as possible. Up next, this week's remix. You can play it against any difficulty, as all that matters is to win. And yet, after making a stupid mistake quite close to the finish line, gotta say that I was super lucky to still pull it through, thus getting 6% more. thus going over 50% for the Lexus IS F. For the Spring Games A800 Offroad Buggies. Guess that Cyberpunk 2077 and the new Super 7 game mode generated too much hype, as after waiting for a really long time to start the game, we ended up playing one against each other as only one other random player joined the game, for a weird 2v2. Still, since you only need to complete the games, that didn't matter much, banked another 6% and the reward. Now for some seasonal PR stunts for 6% each. Northbound danger sign. The Willys Jeep doesn't disappoint, banking this one quickly. You just need to go straight down the hill and don't miss the takeoff ramp. Aerodrome speed trap. Most S2 and X-Class can do this one. I used the cheap Esprit from the Forzathon and it didn't break a sweat in completing it. And then we have nether end speed zone. Another PR stunt that I think most tuned cars will be able to tackle. For instance, my back mono, tuned for roads, not gravel, managed to do it just with upgrades, so no other tuning. Even with a slower car, you can start from further uphill, thus scoring high right from the start. To keep you above the floating point throughout the challenge. So we're almost there, with only 3 championships remaining and the dailies. Expect the unexpected S900 Lambos, where I used the Huracan Performante to win a Huracan Performante. Well, that went well. Almost. Quite close. But by the end we got the 6% towards the 100. Thus going over 80% to get the Rover SD1. Quite an impressive off-road car that can then be used to get the AMG Hammer. If you don't have the Performante, I'd recommend the LP 610. Next, it was time for the AMG Hammer in another slow, stock BMW. What can go wrong if you have street tires and the rear wheel driving in the mud? Hard to keep it on the track, had to be careful with the throttle, but yet again this has to be won against at least highly skilled drivatars, not unbeatable or pro, so you can always lower it to fit the level you feel comfortable with. As for the tour de force for the F12 TDF, after yet another disconnect, had to go and complete it in solo mode, just to avoid further frustration, with the Bentley Continental, as I didn't have anything else tuned and ready for it. But you can use any, even stock, as the drivatars will be configured to your car specs and selected difficulty. And that does it with the seasonal. And yet another nice disconnect. At least we're done with it for now. Ranked and Rivals are completed from summer as they are actually series events. They can be completed in any season and count for all seasons, so we'll no longer go through them. Just know that you can even complete them right now during spring, and they'll automatically add to the rest of the seasons too. And lastly, the daily challenges. First, 3 great drifts. Slide a bit in the roundabout and it is impossible not to get it. Second, drive for 5 miles any car, anywhere. Third, earn 4 stars from danger signs. Get the stars from multiple passes. Fourth, earn 2 near misses. Closely overtake AI cars while driving at least 100-120 km per hour. Fifth, earn 2 awesome speed skills. That is achieved when going over 280 km per hour. Any above multiplier counts too. Sixth, win 2 point-to-point cross-country events, that is sprints, so make sure not to pick up circuits. And seventh, earn 1 drafting skill. Drive behind the drivatar for a little while till it pops. And that does it for another 100% completion, this time for Spring 29, as well as 100% series if you have completed everything so far too. Hope you've enjoyed the new episode. For any questions or discussions, feel free to use the comment section below or the Discord server, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more Forza weekly content. For any additional details regarding the events, they are also available in the video description. Till next time, have fun racing and thanks for your support.